Let me retitle this. Bite to Eat, exclamation point, weekend recap, exclamation point. All right. All right, everybody. What's up? Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. Come on in. The water's fine. Yes, indeed. Feed the needy. Your host with the most, like butter on your breakfast toast. It is 9 a.m. It is Monday, November 14th here in Atlanta, Georgia. It is a chilling 36 degrees, you guys. 36 degrees. Oh, my goodness. And a high of 51. We have officially entered the fall. What up, Lady Nikki? What up, Scrap, Aaron, Event, Yabu? What up, Jasmine? Come on in the room. Yeah, come on in the room, y'all. Yeah. Normally, I'd have some music right now, a beat or something, but my machine, there we go. It wasn't cooperating earlier, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. What up, Key? What up, Mika? We do a morning check-in, y'all. I want to see where y'all from. Make sure y'all put the city and the state. The city and the state, as I still get things a little set up. City and state, y'all. Let's get the city and state popping. Let's get the city and state dropping. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. All right, Clinton, Maryland. I ain't seen that one before. Greensboro in the building. Aiken, South Carolina. Joliet, Illinois in the building. What up, Wiggs? I know Wiggy's down there in Miami, man. We're doing a check-in right now. Check-in, morning check-in. It is Monday, November 14th. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, it's 36 degrees. You know what? City and state, man, and tell me what the temperature feel like to y'all right now. Brooklyn's in the house. Atlanta, Georgia, always representing St. Louis, Missouri. I love the Lou. You know, I'm a U City kid, you know what I'm saying? Olivet. Emo's Pizza. Clay County. The Galleria, what's up? Cibolo, Texas, that's the first. I ain't heard that before. Martha's Vineyard, it is 40 degrees. DJ Smooth, I see you. Hey. If y'all want a different view or a better view, I am live on YouTube at the same time. I'm actually live on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter all at the same time. Shorty said, I'm around the corner from you. U City. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I went to U City High for a minute. How about that? Yeah. He says 37 degrees. What up, Taushi? Some of y'all should have y'all books. For those of y'all who ordered y'all books, y'all should have them. It's 40 degrees in Maryland. What's up with that, yo? The fall is really trying to kick in, ain't it? The fall is playing no games. Shoot, I woke up and was like, let me turn on the heat. Anybody turn the heaters on yet? What up, social? Butterfly. You know, when you have the name Butterfly in your name, you know what I'm saying, that you have a responsibility to do and think all things beautiful. That's what's up, Tashi. Tashi got your book on Saturday. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, if you have not ordered your book yet, Social Digital Currency, you can go to yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. Toasty. I love the heat. I'm from Michigan originally, y'all. So I'm big on the heat. There were times when I was little, I used to sit with my feet up against the heater, and I would and I have a loaf of bread in front of me with some butter and just be going in. These are all ghetto tales, but don't tell nobody else. What we used to do. I love the heat. I'm from Michigan originally. That's what we used to do, y'all. All right, so live on my TikTok right now, right? No heat on and shy, but it's chilly, not chilly enough though. Okay. You know y'all gonna catch up though. I've been looking for you on Cortez Live. You be killing them. I know, Shanice, but I had to kind of step away for a minute. You know, I enjoy being on there too, man, and cracking jokes and the whole nine. I enjoy being on that platform. I think he got something special there. I would just cultivate it a little bit differently. It could be crazy. So I just kind of, I kind of stick and move, ebb and flow. You know what I'm saying? I scheduled my chimney sweep before it gets cold. Absolutely. What up, Sonny? So check this out, y'all. We're gonna do a recap, man. I think a recap is more is necessary. What up, Letitia? Yeah, you missed me last night. For those of you who didn't tune in last night, y'all missed an amazing night. Last night was really off the chain. From those of you who don't know, we had over 2,300 people in the live last night. You got your book, Sonny? That's what's up. For those of you who are wondering what book they're talking about, if you go on my YouTube channel right now, you can see the book and the address where to get it at. My YouTube is connected to the account. So if you go up to the top and you press it like you're finna press to follow me, you can hit the Instagram button. It'll bring down Instagram and YouTube. And when you go to YouTube, you can see me live right now, and it has the information, yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. You want to purchase the hard copy. How about that? Let me type this in for you guys over here on chats. Super likes and cash apps. Appreciate it. Yeah, Letitia, it was 2,300 people last night. That was the peak number we had. It was an amazing night. And really, you know what? I can tell you this much. Every night that I do where I do the apple cider vinegar drink, which is right here. Hopefully y'all got y'all's. Look, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get that apple cider vinegar drink popping. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and check it out. I'm going to look right now. What's your YouTube name? It's the same, Shanice. Same as what mine is right now. Don't just go look. Go subscribe. Add your name to the list or whatnot. And you'll see you can actually see the whole studio that I'm in right now where this conversation is being produced from. I like Instagram. I like TikTok. But I hate the fact that you don't get this whole view. And the reason being is because you can't read. I don't know if anybody understands this. The further I put these cameras back to give you more of a view of the studio, the less I'll be able to read your comments. And this is an interactive room and an engagement room. But last night was amazing. I got on around 10, maybe 10:30. And, every Sunday night, the numbers are bananas. And I get it. It's, people have, open schedules, free time. And I know this is like a challenge for most people when I get on early like this. So I may end up I may go back to doing 2 a days where I get on early enough to engage you guys in the morning who are part of my morning crew, and then get back on in the evening at a really good time, thinking maybe 8, maybe 9 o'clock in the evening. And for those people who can't make the morning, at least I can have that conversation with them at night to get them started and onto the path or whatnot. And, we could do for you morning people who join me in the evening, so it's not redundant. I'll just do an update on some of these situations that I've researched or whatnot and continue from there. Yeah, it was live last night, Sonny. I mean, when I tell you we were rocking on all cylinders, it was crazy. Probably, I didn't even look at the stats, but I think there was 1,000 new followers out of that 2,000. I think it was 1,000 new followers that joined us or whatnot. And that, that's awesome. The YouTube subscribership went up considerably. So those are the things that, on Sunday nights to go crazy. The weekend is always crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why, like on Saturday nights, they're usually my nights to go out and be social and stuff like that. So I got to figure out, if those nights are productive as well. But Sunday nights are always lit when I'm making the apple cider vinegar. I make my Monday through Fridays. My lives, Marshall, they ebb and flow. Marshall said, what are your lives about? Typically, they're about current events and things like that, but we spend an absorbent amount of time about health and wellness as well, mental and physical. We understand that all these things go together when it comes to you having a rounded out experience, not only just on this platform, with me, but outside of this platform. So last night, Marshall, the room got really large because health and wellness is a huge thing on this platform. And there's a remedy, or so to speak, for your digestive and gut health that we discussed that is always popular on this platform, which is apple cider vinegar drink, which is 8 ounces of water, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and 1 freshly squeezed lemon, which is about 4 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then 2 teaspoons of local raw honey. I'll post the recipe so that you can get it. I post it usually at some point during the show, but I post it really quickly so you can get an opportunity to see that, and you can actually start implementing it in your daily routine. It is a lifestyle change. It is not a diet. It is not a how do you say it's not a quick fix. She said, I do a virtual walk and weight class. Did it live on TikTok. First time ever. It got lots of traffic. Yeah, because health and wellness is really important, Tashi. Like, honestly, there's so many people who want things to be better for themselves physically, but don't have the, capacity to get out there and do it. So when we communicate the way we're doing it, I'm communicating to each one of you as a collective, but yet I'm also communicating to you guys individually, and that goes a long way. So being the apple cider vinegar is high on the acid versus alkaline, what are the benefits? Well, I have the benefits listed in green up here, but when you say high on the acid, you got to remember it matters with the amount of apple cider vinegar you use and how you dilute it. And so the 8 ounces dilutes the 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar so well that it's only an acute feeling that you get as it does the process along with the lemon juice, which is also has a bit of acidity to it. And I know that's a big concern for a lot of people, but that's not an issue once you dilute it. It's those people who are drinking it with, what up, Sonia? What up, Joe? What up, Tanya? It's those people who are taking that 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar that it becomes an issue because it's overwhelming to our bodies. Our bodies are very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Our bodies are very sensitive to the acid versus the external. Did my mix yesterday with limes, didn't get the same results. Yeah, Tashi, listen, I applaud you, Tashi, for even remixing it, because I think that's what you guys have to do. After a while, Tashi, I know you've been doing it for about at least a month straight. So when you guys try these different things, they give you an opportunity to see what works and what doesn't, and you become a part of the fact-finding mission that we're on when it comes to our health and wellness. I need to start incorporating that. I have a lot of gut issues. Yeah. If you have like gut issues, like serious gut issues, why don't you dilute it just a little bit more in the beginning? So start off with 1 teaspoon, start off with half a lemon, and go from there and see how your body responds. And if your body responds, and it's not bugging out, then you can increase it and then go and, find that place. You're ultimately trying to get to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and 1 whole lemon to really cut the intestines and then break all that stuff up and get it out of your system. You'll notice your stomach gets a lot flatter first and foremost, but if you're consistent, those love handles start going away as well, because you'll be entering into a fasted state more often, like a really strong fasted state. She said, I'm all into health and wellness. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it a week because limes have great benefit. Limes have more vitamin C than lemons, and so yeah, you should benefit more from it. How do you like the taste is a better question, Tashi, because I couldn't get past the taste. Like I couldn't put the taste in the formula to where I was excited about it. Really quickly, let's do a little room service. For anybody who's on the platform, make sure you're hitting the share button. Hitman Woody said, trust no one on this app. I agree with you, Hitman Woody. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and go from there. Make sure you guys, when you join YouTube, that you type your name so I know who's over there. I know Letitia's on YouTube right now. Share the live, and hit those like buttons. If you feel the need or feel the opportunity to, I didn't like the taste, see? Yeah. If you feel the need to, there are different things you guys can do to support the channels on each one of them. Badges on Instagram, gifts on TikTok, and super likes and super chats on YouTube, and then cash apps all across the board. So I wanted to talk to y'all, man. We had an amazing weekend. It was capped off by the amazing turnout that we had last night, which, you can never be mad at the when people show up and show out. Like, you can never be mad at that. I was so excited. And I know, like, one thing I know about Sunday nights is everybody turns up on Sunday nights. Now, how many people turn up The range has always been at a 1,300 to 1,500 people on Sunday night. So I really get excited about doing a Sunday night conversation. But last night, like I said, the room got lit and it was just popping at 2,300 people. It actually got up to 25, but it just hung out at 2,300 people, and we got through. Marshall says, "What are your thoughts on 90% fruit, 10% vegetables?" I would probably flip that on his head and do 90% vegetable over 10% fruit, just for ultimate benefits of the vitamins that you're going to receive from that. But then again, it's such a general question, Miss Marshall, that you want to consider. The conversation should be what those fruits and what those vegetables are, because they all have different benefits, and when the questions are that general, it's very difficult to give you an answer that makes complete sense, as it's such a wide variety of things you could be doing. What up, Sharice? What up, Priscilla? So I'm gonna dive right in, man. This weekend was amazing. You know what I mean? It was nothing short of amazing as far as some of the different results and things that have happened. You know what I mean? We got an amazing turnout of things. One of the things that has been kind of dying out in the conversation that we've been having is this whole Kanye West situation. He doubled down, and what up, Deerfield? I wanted to make sure everybody understood that, like, listen, Kanye West is risking it all right now. I know some people think that he's crazy, but literally he is. That's not, some of the things he's saying is for, all of it has purpose, but he's not crazy like that. And the fact that he is giving up, so much of the inside game right now, it makes me a little nervous for him, because I don't know if you guys caught the last outtake from him where he was communicating about his mom being sacrificial. Now, those of us who are in the know, so to speak, what up, Jamaica, what up, Big Honey, that are in the know to some degree, we understood even when it happened. You're welcome, Connie. Even on his rise to fame, we were like, and when his mom passed, we was like, yo, that seems strange as I don't know what. Like, how is that happening? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. And when things don't make sense, my antennas go up, and it makes me really, really have to think about things, because it's important that we are all fact seekers, truth seekers, that we're looking for understanding. And when this whole event happened, we had been hearing about things in the past. Everywhere, Alabama, if you type it in on Google and you search it on Google, man, he's everywhere. And TMZ is conveniently, always there with a camera. What up, Marcos? And so he spoke about it. He said, he talked about some people who are a part of the elitist groups. He didn't go behind the curtain. What up, Bella? He didn't go behind the curtain, but he did surface level talk about some of his peers that may be active in the participation of this elitist group. And I don't really say their name often. What up, Red Baby? I don't say their name often, but there's an elitist group that people talk about as if they're a mythical creature or whatnot that oversees a lot of the things that are going on in society. And so in that, he kind of broke the plane when I was like, yo, y'all got to protect Kanye because he's telling it. Now, when I say he's telling it, I want y'all to understand that they want people to be deemed as crazy so that when they're telling it, we look at them like they're not sincere. We look at these people as if they're, like they're not really, really being truthful. And we look at them like they're not giving up the game, right? He's absolutely taking us behind the curtain. And when he said his mom was, listen, when it happened, we all was like, oh my God, what is going on? What up, Denise? But his mom, even then, everybody, the conversation amongst the community of people that I communicate with that are, truth seekers and people that, we look at these things with a fine tooth comb, his mom was sacrificial in order for him to have the kind of success that he wants. Now, you guys have heard about this. You guys have heard about these instances where entertainers are at a certain point in their career and then all of a sudden they launch forward. But in the process of them launching forward, you hear the conversation about a loved one that's close to them, somebody that you guys have heard about that has been visible in their career. You've heard about them passing. You've heard about this strange circumstance in which they passed away or which they died. Or got killed. Everybody, there's a conversation that lends itself back to Michael Jordan during his time when he was having a controversial point of his career, and then all of a sudden his dad passed away. What's up? Yeah, Jamaica. And his dad got killed randomly. His dad. The circumstances were the most craziest circumstances ever. That's right. Alabama, he said his mother was a sacrifice for his next levels in life. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. Jennifer Hudson. That was crazy. That whole thing. I think that could have been more on some jealousy stuff. So although her career at the point was already on its way up. But I go back to Michael Jordan's dad, who conveniently pulls over on the side of the road to rest or something like that, and this happens. So that is Kanye West is not stupid, and that's exactly what it is. A lot of these entertainers, in order to pass a threshold. Now, we just recently are dealing with the passing of one of the members of one of the most recent big rap groups, right? And the circumstances of that situation are ridiculous, and people are pointing to the label head as a part of this thing. Now, I don't know how true that is. I just know that the suspicion regarding Takeoff's passing is crazy. There are so many stories, but the one thing that you could take about it, that it was not a mistake. Yep, Michael Jordan was a huge gambler, and so that's the backstory that they want to say. They didn't even use that as a lending point to the situation. But if I go back to this Migos situation, y'all do understand. I don't know if you all know the scope of this whole situation, but it's very peculiar how it happens because they're amongst friends, right? There's a rite of passage, and when you go into certain states and certain cities in certain states, that there are people who are quote unquote bosses. So when you go to LA, they tell y'all, yo, you got to check in. If you're in the rap game and you go to LA, you got to check in. You go to Detroit, you got to check in. You go to Houston, you got to check in. And there's a really huge family that is synonymous with that whole checking in thing in Houston. So if you go to Houston and you are already kicking it with the family that you got to check in with, then how can something wrong or something bad happen to you underneath their watch unless it's sanctioned? This is the problem in the conversation, that people don't understand, that in order for certain things to go a certain way, certain things have to happen. Now, I say keep your eye and let's see what happens and who flourishes. Like, if you want to know about these things and why they happen, you got to look at who benefits from them the most. You know what I'm saying? Who at this point now elevates their position in life due to this tragedy. And it's very telling, but you got to keep your eyes open or you'll miss it. But Kanye West exploded the scene when he had that conversation, because this is a conversation. Y'all heard Cat Williams say it. And then Cat Williams told you he had to pipe down because they were coming after him. Dave Chappelle traveled as a result of this situation. And we're going to get back to more about Dave Chappelle because I think it's an important conversation. Dave Chappelle, this weekend was on fire too, but we're going to get to that. Kanye, on the other hand, made these statements and called out some people. So that was why I was like, yo, we really got to protect Kanye, because he's laying it all out on the line. And you and I, we talk a lot about protecting our leaders, our activists, those people who stick their necks out on the line. We typically do a very bad job of that, and that's why I'm here in the fold, because there is a group of people out there who just do not know how to support, and they want to hang him out to dry. And I'm like, yo, unless you're going to take his place, shut up. Shut up and look for the truth in it so you can exploit the truth about it. Now, maybe there's some things that aren't, aligned completely with what you're thinking or how you feel. But again, everything Everything is due for your research. Everything is available for you to look it up. It's not. He's not Tavis. If you can explain to me, Tavis Groves on TikTok says, "Don't defend Kanye. He's a horrible person." I'm gonna give you some latitude, Tavis. Can you tell me how he's a horrible person, please? I'd love to hear your side of the story. The Kevo guy getting the white man tattoos, Mark tattoo. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. If you can, there was a young man. Tavis said that Kanye is horrible. I'd love to hear how Kanye is a horrible person. People come online and in these rooms and on these chats, and they make these blanket statements and they say things without defending them. You will not get away with that here. When you come on my live, if you make a blanket statement like that, you get an opportunity to defend yourself. And clearly he doesn't know Kanye personally, Tashi. Like, we know, we can take that away from that statement, because anybody who knows Kanye personally isn't looking to attack him or to downgrade him. They're looking to embrace him and understand him better and help him. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody says you're horrible, it makes you think that somebody has done something personally to you or to somebody that you know. On record, as to date, can anybody tell me what he has done to somebody? What has Kanye done to somebody physically? Because that's where you would use the word horrible at. And he hasn't ignited. It's not ignorance, Thug, to that degree. What I think it is there's some understanding that some people have and some people don't. There's a level of understanding that some people get and some people don't. And in this situation, you got to remember he has access. He has access to different levels of conversation that you and I don't have access to. All we have is what we're doing right now, is the outside of it to kind of understand him better. So when you say he's ignorant, you got to say, nah, because his goal was to get out of his Adidas deal, and he got out of his Adidas deal. Albeit you're not going to make the changes you want to make without suffering some kind of sacrifice, without going through something. We've talked about this, and I don't want to detract too far, but we've talked about this when it comes to, anybody, any group of people in this world who has ever tried. He is very smart, Florida. Anybody in this world who has ever tried to change anything, you're going to go through everything. You're going to go through all of the pain points. You're going to go through breaking away from anything. It's painful. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's crazy. That man is a genius. He's using his platform to attempt to inform us, and some aren't getting it. AKP, you're absolutely right. And if y'all don't understand how the system works, it works like this. Let me give you access, but you got to behave. I'm going to give you all the latitude to be great. I'm going to give you so much money. Everything is yours. The world is yours. But in order to be sure that you're not going to screw us up, we need a sacrifice. So in Kanye's case, it was his mom. And I'm sure most people, when they go into this, they don't know or expect it to hurt as much as it does. They don't expect it to have the kind of impact that it has. And over time, with all these things happening and him really seeing it, like, it's very hard. Tavis says, so you forgive all the hate speech from the genius. Can you tell me something that, give me two statements, because you say it, all of the hate speech. Give me at least two statements that you believe were hateful, and absolve yourself from the same sentiment. I would love to hear you tell me the hate speech, because what I heard him say that people are hanging on to, what do you mean? How is his mom the sacrifice? When you join this elitist group, you have to have a blood sacrifice. There has to be a blood sacrifice in order for you to get to that next level. And he said it. He said, my mom was a sacrifice. And that's why I'm telling y'all, you have to watch him. You got to guard him, because he is giving up all of the sauce. Now, I'm not sure if he knew it was going to be his mom, but that's the only person he had. In some other people's situations, it is other people. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. When it came to what Tavis is saying, Tavis said that Kanye made a remark. The only remark I heard that people are really repeating and getting upset about, voting for Trump is not a bad thing, is that he said, I'm gonna wake up and go DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people. Now, understand that he was dealing with Jewish people coming down on him. Y'all do remember his conversation started with, these Jewish people are holding me, they're coming after me, they're holding me down, da 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 da. I liken that conversation to most of my homies in the hood that get falsely accused or arrested by the police. What do you say? Man, I want to pop all these cops, bro. I just want to just go into the police station and go, you say that when you're in the heat of the moment. The difference between him saying it and you saying it is he's got microphones and cameras in his face and you don't. That's the only difference. That's the only difference between Kanye's statements and yours. You've had that same sentiment as well. There's a screenshot. Go ahead. You've had that same sentiment before in life as well. No, now Tavis, it's the truth, Tavis. Tavis says Jews control the media. He said it more than once. If I'm going to get to something, I need you to stay here, Tavis, during this complete broadcast, because I'm going to drop a bomb on you in a minute. But I wanted to wrap this thing up with Kanye because it's so important that people understand that there is a method to the madness, and no one has ever been able to come out and truthfully say what it is. Who is his family? You got to ask yourself, who's his family? He only got his dad, is the only one left. I love how Kanye West said it's awakening too. Awake Jesus humbling him. Exactly. No, we can't. Marshall, I would love to get into the semantics of that, but that's another conversation. Matter of fact, so for those people, so let me tell you what she said. Miss Marshall said, can you define Jew? I got somebody special coming on, and it's a 3-part conversation happening Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Y'all gotta be here. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, we understand China controls TikTok. Black Republicans are voting against their best interests. Tavis, you have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. When I think about who I'm voting for, I'm looking for the person who will not, who has not done the damage that others have. So ask yourself this: when you guys vote, and this is sidetrack, I'll get back to our topic in a second. But when you talked about Tavis, when you talked about who to vote for, I'm sure you voted for Biden, didn't you, Tavis? Just out of curiosity. And I'm going to educate y'all real quick. If you voted for Biden, Marshall said, I don't vote anymore. That not voting is still a vote, Marshall. I'm going to need you on that. Kanye is not a modern day Uncle Tom. You just are elevated. You got to elevate to understand where he's at. And that's cool that you don't. But if you stick around, I'll help you out. Like you can be Jewish by ethnicity, but not by practice. Yes, I voted against treason. So Tavis said he voted for Biden. Now, what you don't understand, Tavis, is Biden has been a political person for 30, 40 years, 30 or 40 years. He's affected more people than Trump could ever affect in the short time that he was there. He's a career politician who's done more damage to the black community than Trump could have ever done. And if you don't do your history, you won't know that. You'll look at Biden as an answer. He has done so much damage in the community. He will never see a vote from me. Why? Because he goes along with what this systematic control has been this whole time. So you want change in this country, but you're not going to get change because you have a person who's doing the same thing. He's following protocol. He is a robot. Now, what you hate is we've had the most transparent person in office that we've ever had. And I'm not a Republican at all. I just do the logical thing. I just make logical decisions. Tavis, he is not. Matter of fact, he had Russia under control, not like what this situation is right now. But Trump did the same thing that Kanye is doing, whether y'all know it or not. Trump still has to deal with those same elitists, but he deals with the elitist of elitists because he's in the group. So when he came in as a politician, he tried to tell y'all all the stuff, y'all. He tried to tell y'all, nope, he did not get us in the war. You're exactly right. What Trump did, and you don't have to like Trump, but you got to look at the history. Always proves itself. What Trump did was he started locking up those pedophiles. And so that was the issue for a lot of the industry because they are a part of it. They're complicit. No other president has went after those pedophiles, yet you think that's cool. Right now, Biden ain't done nothing or tried to attack these pedophiles. Trump did. Trump tried to tell you that there were two things that are now coming out in the news as healing agents and strengthening agents for COVID. He told you hydrochloroquine, it was one, and he told you that I can't think of the other one right now, but two different things that worked, and you didn't go and you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Biden locked you down. Biden did, ivermectin. That's it. Yep. And the truth is coming out about those two different things that he mentioned. Now the policy is to make the person who has the influence to seem crazy. That's Bella. That's what I'm telling you. Bella said he also said bleach though, because they have to make him seem crazy before he could tell you haven't you seen that's the recipe? Haven't you seen the recipe? Like, are you not paying attention to the manual that's out there? The manual is this: make him say some crazy stuff, and then he can say whatever he wants because nobody's gonna believe him. Make him say some crazy stuff, and then let him say whatever because he can then people won't believe him. And that's what happened for a lot of y'all. A lot of people, and I empathize with those people who were made to take the vaccine. If you were made to take the vaccine, I empathize with you. But if you chose it recklessly, I can't empathize with you because you didn't do the homework. You didn't listen to your grandmama. You didn't listen to your great-grandmama, those who had remedies and recipes for everything that's worked your entire life. I don't believe how people took the past that they've had, the life that they've lived, and have not taken that into consideration when deciding how to move forward. That's right, Ms. Marshall, but they're paying in New York, Marshall. I would take them to court. In New York, they have rehired all those people that were fired because of the vaccine, and they're paying them back pay. And they're giving them all back pay. They didn't like Trump because he's a wild card, and they didn't like him so much that they concocted all these different situations to try to make it so he can't run for president. You can't look at a situation and see people dogging somebody out before you have empathy and say, why are they going so hard on bruh? Bruh, they going so hard on bruh. He got to be telling the truth. Same thing with Kanye. They're going so hard on Kanye because the truth is in his conversation. I'm gonna need y'all to wake up and see that. So let me continue. Kyrie Irving. This is more evidence that there's so much truth in his conversation. There's so much truth in his conversation that they are chastising him. Think about that. And if you believe Trump stole some documents and stuff, again, you're buying into the narrative that they want you to believe. They can make all that stuff a possibility. So check this out. Again, Tavis, with the comment, Kyrie thinks the earth is flat. If you just missed the segment where I said they try to make you seem crazy before you say something that is really truthful and inflammatory to their situation, then you're missing the whole point here. So Kyrie Irving said nothing, said not a word, y'all. He just posted a link. He posted a link. That's it. Didn't say a word about it. Just posted a link. Now, if I post a link, which I often do, if you ever watch anything on my Instagram, you will see that I post this thing I call the look. And what it is I'll take a situation, mostly it's like chicks that can dance or chicks that are doing something crazy, and I don't say a word. I post it and I look at it. I look back at you. I look back at them. I look back at you. I never make a statement about it. It's the same. All my platforms are the same. Dwight_Scrap_Reynolds. I don't make it a statement about it. You know why? Because it's more telling to me what you say in the comment section about it than what I say about it. Do you understand what I just said? What up, Jersey? It's more important that I get a chance to see what you say about it before I say anything about it. So I merely just pay attention to the comment section, which is where all the action is happening. Now, if you look at this situation, Kyrie did the same thing that I do with the look. Kyrie posted a link and he sat back and said, I wonder what the world is going to say about this. You didn't know if Kyrie had a dog in the fight or nothing. He just posted a link. In posting that link, he made people reveal themselves. Two teaspoons, Doves. He didn't spread anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Tavis. Tavis says you sure have a lot of excuses for people who spread hate speech, brother. It wasn't hate speech. All he did was put a link up and let you decide what it meant to you. You took it how you took it. The Jewish community took it how they took it. He never said, hey, y'all got to go watch this. He got to say, yo, this documentary changed my life. He said none of those things. He merely put it out there and then had to defend himself about what you thought about it. Do you get it? It was one of the most brilliant things to expose your prejudices. He didn't share hate speech. He shared a video, and you decided what was hateful in it. And what it was the Jewish community got upset because in the documentary, the person who made it, not Kyrie, the person who distributed it, not Kyrie, said that some people were fake Jews or whatnot, and that the Holocaust didn't happen. Those are the two statements that they want to undermine the rest of the body of the work. Tell me this, Tavis. I bet you didn't even watch it. Like, those people who are commenting haven't even seen it. Those people who are chastising him didn't watch it from beginning to end, because the truths in it far outweigh anything that might have been false or fake in it. If you have not watched it, I implore you to go watch it. And that's what they wanted you to do, whether y'all know it or not. I know this much, right? That's right. That is exactly right, AKP. What I know is this. That they know what they're doing as well. Y'all got to understand that there's a level of distraction here as well. You know what I'm saying? Travis, that's not for me to say or for me to believe. I don't. It's not for me to contradict or whatever. I wasn't there. I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'm not mentioning. I don't talk about the Holocaust. I have nothing. It has nothing to do with me. Literally, it has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. Literally. So why would he have a dog in the fight when it comes to the conversation about the Holocaust? He did not co-sign, nor did he admonish. He just placed it in front of you, and you decided that it was a negative thing to be discussed. But that came out, and guess what happened this weekend? The owner and the Jewish director of the league both came out and said there's not an anti-Semitic bone in Kyrie Irving. We're going to work to fix this. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Tavis, he is absolutely right when you put it in context. Tavis says you weren't there for slavery either, so I guess Kanye was right about slavery being a choice. Absolutely, slavery was a choice. To be put into slavery in some instances wasn't. To remain in slavery absolutely was a choice. Please, I'll put this all in perspective to you if you keep on listening to it. He said it, Devion. He said his mom was a sacrifice. You know what I mean? He said it. He said my mom was a sacrifice. I don't even have to. How do you feel about it? I felt that was a possibility even when it happened, because I know that the next plateau is a blood sacrifice in order to get to that next level. Like, most people know that when it comes to the conversation about those elitists. But the Kyrie Irving situation, is going away because you're understanding there was nothing wrong with what he did, because he did not accompany it with an opinion. People are butt hurt because they always try to throw the anti-Semitic flag on black people when it comes to a conversation about the truth and their ancestry. It's part of the manual. I posted it on my Instagram page not long ago, like last week. If you want to go look at it, you can. They explicitly say when anyone comes to, and when anyone who seems like what they called an obstructionist comes into this, comes into the picture, call them a fascist, which you can't call black people fascists because we'll never be that. They said call them a Nazi. What black folks you can ever call a Nazi? You can't call me a Nazi. How does that look? But they said you can call them anti-Semitic and allow those groups that support those languages and those thoughts, let them attack them in the public, and they will turn the public against them. That's from 1940-something, 1950-something. Exactly, Otis, but that's a conversation. Listen, Tavis, I got a conversation for you coming on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Everybody who is having this conversation about Hebrew and everything like that, y'all need to show up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I got somebody coming in. He gonna light y'all butts on fire. So much so I had to make it a 3-part series because just talking to this brother, I was like, yo, you're not gonna be able to get all that out in one conversation. Like, you're literally gonna have to take them from the beginning, help them understand where we are in the middle, and then finish this thing off at the end. It is such a ridiculous, like, this brother is well studied, and he gonna give y'all some sauce. But that was the exciting news, is that people are starting to come around and give y'all the conversation for Kyrie, that there's truth in what, that he was not being anti-Semitic. But that's a practice that they do. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying that, Imperial, that I do believe that there is a level of, I just got through saying that, there's a level of distraction that's going on that's bigger than all of this stuff. Yeah, that's another part, Jersey, is the Native American conversation. They don't want to have that. And I'm not as informed, but like I said, the guy that's coming in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday gonna touch on a lot of different things. I think y'all gonna enjoy. But we are playing a game of, hey, let's distract these folks with all this over here. That if anytime they give black people this much attention, y'all got to know they really, really are up to something. Anytime they put black people at the forefront of the conversation of the nation, there's something going on. There's something bigger in play, and I haven't put my thought in it, because I too, like you, are standing too close to the elephant. I'm too close to it right now, and I need to. I'm trying to pull myself away and step back so I can see things a bit clearer, but I've been unable to do that. No, it's a distraction, Joetta. She says I don't think it is a distraction as much as a conversation. It absolutely is. And the fact that we're not looking at it like that means that we're missing something. You know what I'm saying? We're missing something. Yeah, there's something else, Red Baby, something else going on. That's dope. New Jersey said her family was a part of the Trail of Tears. We might have to unveil that, you know what I'm saying? And now that I've said that to you all, hopefully you all will be looking for what the distraction possibly could be, because that's worth a conversation in itself. But I know I'm gonna step back a little bit and try to figure things out. Yeah, they both try to indoctrinate you into something, Clarence. Clarence says religion and law go hand in hand, and both are used to control. Religion is used to control. If you look up the definition of a religion, it's going to tell you that. I'll look it up for you right now online. What is the definition of religion? And it tells you that. It says it's the belief and worship of a superhuman controlling power. Like, it tells you that. And that is one of the aspects of religion is to get you to acquiesce to a certain behavior. Wiley, we'll figure that out, right? The conversation about Brett Favre is non-existent because we understand in this country that the things work differently for your white counterparts. They just do. And I don't want to get too involved with that right now, but I do want to spin it back to this. I think it's dope that Kyrie has changed the narrative, and that they have changed the narrative towards Kyrie. I think that's super awesome. What else happened this weekend? Super duper dope. Shifts in the world is happening. Darkness is lighting up. We are in the age of Aquarius, which is knowledge. I recently walked away from the church. Best decision I've ever made. Now everyone thinks I'm going to hell. That's funny, Miss Marshall. It's funny, but it's not funny, because most times somebody says that to you, they're highly misinformed on the way things work. But check this out. What was super, super dope was Dave Chappelle hosted SNL. Did any of you guys get a chance to see that? Dave Chappelle. I sound like I was rapping. Dave Chappelle hosted SNL. Dave Chappelle hosted SNL. Tell me some of y'all caught that. Did any of y'all catch Dave Chappelle on SNL? I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak preview. I really can't. I want to give y'all a sneak preview of it, but I will summarize what he said. There's some really dope conversation about it. And guess what, man? He's catching flack from it. And you know what community is doing that? They said Dave Chappelle monologue disappoints. No, man. That monologue, it said, elicits backlash from Anti-Defamation League. Of course it does. Of course it does. Now do y'all get it? Now do y'all understand? Anytime y'all say anything against anything truthful, he said it. He said, here's what it is. He said, when it comes to black people, they're a gang. When it comes to Italian people, they're a mob. He said, when it comes to Jewish people, it's a coincidence. And do you understand? He is one of the most brilliant people. And you know, when we throw that conversation around like, oh, yo, bro, he needs to be protected. Dave Chappelle is one of those voices that needs to be protected. But more so than that, I'm gonna start bringing this to the conversation. What are you willing to do in the instance that these individuals that are sticking their necks out on the line, being truth tellers and bringing our conversation to the table? What are we going to do if something happens to these people? What are we going to do? Do y'all understand that that's a bigger question? What up, Mary? That's a bigger concern of mine than anything else. Is, are we going to allow, if something should happen to a Dave Chappelle or any of these truth tellers or any of these people who's standing in the trenches for us, what are we willing to do? What are we commissioned to do? Because there's no way in the world that we should be allowing people to take people from us who are giving us the sauce, who are giving us this information, putting this conversation out in the world and protecting us to some degree. Now, whether we follow this advice, whether we stand in the fold or whatever, that's the part that's really heartbreaking for me, is because I feel like nobody's going to do nothing. I'm going to post it on my Instagram today. I have to. So for most of y'all, hopefully, let's do a little homework. Let's do a little housework real quick. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button, share the live, cash apps, gifting, badges, any of that stuff is super cool. You know what I'm saying? But let's do a little homework. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the shares up. But it is deep, Jersey, because we don't talk about, ain't nobody scared of us. No, it ain't about who will be stepping up next. That's the problem. We keep swapping out people hoping that they're going to be better than the next. And we don't get them for 10 or 20 years, Joetta. We got some soldiers right now. We got some educators right now. We got some people who are leading the conversation that should be inciting us to do things differently. Somebody said to me the other day in a conversation, yeah, man, you know, Black Wall Street is getting rebuilt, what's going to be different? Well, the difference should be what we know about Black Street and Black Wall Street, what it was and what was missing from it. No, Chris, I like that conversation. Chris says, why do you think churchgoers are controlled? If you've ever been to church and the minister says it's time to tithe and everybody participates in tithing, that's a form of control. When the minister says for everybody to come down and let me lay hands on you and everybody go down to the front, that's a form of control. When the minister tells you to do something, and there's going to be that. There's going to be leadership in that. That's exactly right, Tashi. Tashi said protection was missing. Who are we afraid of? We got so many thugs that's willing to go at each other, but not go against anybody else that needs to be gone against. What up, Luminary? That part bothers the hell out of me. We got so many thugs and gangsters that won't leave their neighborhood to be thugs and gangsters. Like they can only be thugs and gangsters against their own people. That makes no sense to me. It should be the opposite way around. I can't be a thug or a gangster against my own folks, but against the rest of the world. I can tell y'all right now, one thing that I know is this. Look, I'm from Flint, Michigan. And the way Flint, Michigan works as far as it goes is you have different communities that will battle with different communities. You got Beecher that doesn't rock with inner city of Flint. You got Selby Hood, you got Merle Hood, you got West Pat. You got all these communities that will battle with each other. But one thing I can tell you this for sure: when we stepped out and we went to Detroit, well, it was Flint against Detroit. It wasn't I saw people that I didn't even like on one side of the concert, but when it came to bucking in the concert, we was all bucking together. Period. And that's what needs to be changed. Yep, Cat Williams, media painted him to be crazy, but he's so brilliant. And Cat Williams got to be a little bit disturbed because Dave has not disturbed, but he got to take a page out of Dave's book. Dave came into the game and he's having the conversation Cat Williams has had, but he's approached it differently. And I think you have to have a certain level of respect for anybody who turns down the bonus. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle turned down all that money. You have to respect him. And then his conversation going forward was embraced our community, embraced the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It is a choice. Listen, if we're not looking at things for how they are, we can't see clear enough to move the way we need to move. I'm sorry when people are talking about, do you think slavery was a choice? Understand this. Nat Turner was a slave who decided slavery was not going to be a part of his life. Now, it cost him his life, but he inspired millions. He inspired millions. That's where things have to change. Let me see if I can go to my Instagram on here. Instagram.com. I'm gonna go to my Instagram because y'all need this. I can't repeat all this stuff. I need y'all to. I need to be able to play some of this so y'all can understand where I was coming from, and the information that I looked up in order to bring this stuff to the table for y'all. Let's go here. So here's where it all started for me. No. It was a choice. So user says, stop with this choice argument. It's just stupid. Let me tell you how much slavery was a choice. Slavery was such a choice that there were people that were being brought over on the boats that jumped off the boats because they chose freedom over slavery. What are you talking about? You do understand that it's a choice. Albeit the options may not be great, it's still a choice. Argue with me about choice, and I'll tell you, and you'll disrespect those people who jumped off those boats. Argue with me about choice, and you will be disrespecting all those black people who were slaves who said, I will not be anyone's slave. That's what's up, LaFo Soto. If anybody wants to talk to y'all about choice, y'all make sure they understand that. Yeah, it was a choice. Maybe the options wasn't good, but it was a choice. That's not what we're saying, Christopher. Christopher, don't move the goalpost. He said, so slavery was a choice, but going to church isn't. I never said anything about church being a choice. We talked about church being manipulative or controlling. That's what we talked about. Please don't change the narrative. I don't forget, bro. You're not going to be able to slip any fast ones on just changing words. I am an active listener, and that's why my live is lit, because I be paying attention. You can't slip nothing past me, bro. So there were other people who led against these revolts against their slave owners because they were saying, they knew death was the consequence. So they chose death over slavery, man. If anybody ever has that argument with y'all about slavery being a choice, please understand that's the perspective and narrative it came from. Is that there were people who jumped off the boats and said they chose death over slavery. Now, people like the person who said that don't understand this, that there was a time where we understood that our commitment sometimes would end in death. Sometimes our commitment will end in injury, will end in hurt, and end in pain. We understand that those people who are standing in the line of fire know it may challenge their finances. Every day, Paris. Every day, like every day. Paya. I'll drink it in 2 minutes. I'll drink it in 2 minutes when we take a commercial break. It's so important, man, that people understand what you're saying. You've been so indoctrinated that you can't look past the indoctrination that you've had in order to hear the things that are apparently logical and everything in front of you. I can't believe I'm discussing the fact that slavery was a choice. I can't believe I'm discussing the fact that that there is power in the church, that the minister who is the leader of the church, he could say to y'all, listen, this week, I don't want y'all, nobody touch red meat the whole week. And guess what's going to happen? The congregation is going to be like, I ain't eating red meat, at least 80%. But it is a blanket statement, Christopher, because the majority of churches do that. No, it ain't good and bad ones. Listen, Chris, I'm going to tell you this right now, bro, because you're acting naive. Every church has the shepherd and the sheep. That's how they promote it. You can't say it any different. I can go to a white church, I can go to an Asian church, I can go to a black church, and that minister up front will always let you know that he is the shepherd and you are the sheep. And what do shepherds do? They lead the sheep and tell them where to go. Come on, man. It ain't even, listen, bruh, if you don't understand, you can watch every television ministry which influences the other ministries, because that's how it works. You do understand that, right? Television ministry influences other churches. So you don't have a pastor at your church, Christopher? Your pastor doesn't tell you what you should and shouldn't do? Come on, man. I've never heard of a church like that. Yeah, and now you're just trolling. So we're gonna leave it at that. Now it feels like you're trolling because I can only have a conversation with a person who's open-minded enough to see what's right in front of them. I've been to plenty of churches. My mother's an ordained minister. I've been to plenty of churches visiting and where she's been a special guest speaking. I've been to them. Come on, man. Your church is the only one. Now he wants to play the game of generalization and all that. Come on, man. We ain't doing that. A majority. How about that? I'll change not all, a majority. Let's do that. And then he gonna say, you've been to a majority of churches? Come on, man. That's like I can tell you a majority of black men in the USA have had to deal with discrimination. You gonna fight me on that too? That doesn't make sense to you too? That's right, Will. He don't get it. He don't get it. Even from the smallest commands, your preacher is running you, especially in that environment. What's up, Miss Kitchen? That's right. Please, can y'all please stand? All the different commands that they have while you're in the church. You don't understand. That leads you to being obedient. Anyway, so I want to play something for y'all, man. This is one that really lit me up. I'm gonna see if I can play this. For y'all. Because this was something that really, really lit me up. Thank you. These are Chloe's. You can't really find these anymore. They're very hard to get. Let me put that in. Let's see. Excuse me. They're very hard to get. I bought a few pair when I got them because I knew they were going to be hard to buy. You can't even buy them anymore. Okay, so not now. It's making me do all this stuff to log in, but I want to play this for y'all, man. This was so important when I heard it, and this kind of lit my fire right here. Check this out.
They won't even apologize to the best citizens that they've ever had. Now, listen. It wasn't black Africans from Nigeria that flew over Pearl Harbor on December the 7th and declared war on the United States of America.
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
3,000 plus Americans were killed by the Japanese on the day of Pearl Harbor when Japan declared war on the United States of America. And then after that, they gave them $20,000 apiece and apology for declaring war on them. And black people have been the most loyal people to the United States. They have never, ever declared war on the United States. Never.
Keep listening.
Listen. We have been the most loyal people to this nation than any of the immigrants that ever came here. We have fought in every one of America's war and then got treated like dogs after it. And then the nation has the gall to decide whether or not we should apologize to them. Maybe we ought to declare war on them, and then maybe that'll get them to apologize.
That's Dr. Fred Price. That was Dr. Fred Price, who passed away. Mysteriously, you know what I'm saying, of some weirdness or whatnot that they said. You know what I'm saying? They said he got he died under some crazy circumstances. Come on, man. We have these leaders that are saying and giving you the conversation. I posted that on my Instagram so you guys could repost it and share it, because the things that you won't say, there are people who are saying it, and we're laying it out there for you. I got another one for you. So somebody said, I mentioned to you guys earlier about the Jewish community stating that the anti-Semitic thing that they do is part of the routine. It's part of the plan. I'm finna let y'all see it, because I know some of y'all don't be believing that this stuff is this stuff is mapped out. So whenever they say somebody's being anti-Semitic, listen to this. I want y'all to understand what the playbook says. They have a playbook for this. It's this right here. Listen. Let me unmute it right quick. And they said it's a directive. Listen to this. This is a directive meaning how to deal with it. Listen to this.
In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, when certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable buildups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind. In 1943,
y'all understand that? This has been going on. This has been going on since 1943. Y'all do understand this has been going on since 1943. 1943, they've been running this playbook of the minute that you say something truthful that you're being anti-Semitic. And you understand the dynamic in 1943. They could not call you a Nazi in today's age. They can't call black people Nazis. I said this to you guys earlier. They can't call a black person a Nazi. They can't call you a fascist. But they can call you the third choice out of the playbook. And they said obstructionists. Who are obstructionists? Verbally, there are people who are saying things, truthful things, that stop the narrative that somebody else wants to continue with. And then you hear what else they said it do? They were talking about the Nazis. You heard them say the Nazis and obstructionists. So they can't call Kanye, they can't call Kyrie, they can't call them Nazis. You can't call them fascists. So what do you get to call them? Anti-Semitic. And you heard what they said. Get those groups of people like the ADL to jump on them because they're already set to do it. That's their MO. You do understand this is nothing new. This is out of a playbook. So I wanted to illustrate that so y'all understand that. Should I continue? Because I be posting some dope stuff, man. I be posting some dope stuff that y'all need to pay attention to. I'm gonna give y'all one more. I'm gonna give y'all two more because this one is important too. This is important as I don't know what. This is Malcolm X, y'all. I want y'all to hear this. Let me go up here. Let me unmute the sound. This is important.
What about this?
Check this out. This is Malcolm X.
are you anti-Semitic?
Anti-Semitic.
Many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made a mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No. How can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
Man, I love Malcolm X. I'm sorry. I really love. Y'all got to go back and listen to Malcolm X. Yo, Malcolm X is that. I mean, he was such a resource of information, and he could break these. I look at Malcolm X and the way that he used to communicate with the naysayers, similar to the guy that we silenced on here who was saying that he had a problem with slavery being a choice. He can no longer say those things, and hopefully I educated him in a way that as he moves forward through life, he understands that there are choices. They're going to be difficult choices. Some of us will be having to make life or death choices. We almost do it on a regular basis, but we don't look at it the same because there is no stance we're taking sometimes when it comes to life or death. But every day you're making a life or death decision. Whether you're making it for a cause, a purpose, or for other people is something that's totally different. Please, we can no longer have the conversation if slavery was a choice. It absolutely was, and we knew it was. I don't even speak two-word sentences, user. I have no idea what you mean by you aren't. He says it as though we're having a conversation. You wasn't. Can you do the full sentence, my I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. Just do the full sentence. You got kicked off of Facebook for saying that's messed up, Joetta. That was another thing, right? The other part is this: is that we're having conversations on other people's platforms that do have an option to silence the voice, and they have those relationships with those different people, and they will, they cooperate. The reason why Kanye West is facing the feedback that he got and Kyrie is because there's a group of people who have relationships that say, hey man, we don't like this dude, stop doing business with him. That's all that was. That's all that is. Hey man, we don't like this dude, stop doing business with him. True story, Maestro. Some people are living a life that their death has no meaning to it in terms of the overall effect to the community. I don't want a selfish death. Like when my time comes, I want it to be that Scrap served so many people. He changed so many people's lives. He influenced so many people. His life meant something to so many people. He sold into so many people. He's a part of so many people, so many different people's legacy. We should be legacy building in everything we do, starting with your family and then let it expand out to your friends and then to those people who just come in contact with you. Those are the things that you want to be said about you in your story of life. Is you want people to say, man, he did so much. He was always this. He made sure of this. They did this and they did that. Too many times it's you and your family and friends, you know what I'm saying, who does that. Unfortunately, we have been so indoctrinated, education falls on deaf ears. Don't it, Renee? Don't you just hate that? The problem, even greater than that, is we're still commissioned to share the truth regardless. You still have a responsibility to talk that talk regardless. And here's the saving grace, is that you don't have to change everybody. You just got to change one. And maybe that one is the next, or the reiteration of a Malcolm X. Maybe that one is a reiteration of Martin Luther King, the latter Martin Luther King, who was really about that sauce. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that we have to bank on, is that our conversation permeates the ears of the youth, of somebody young enough to run the race longer than you've been able to run it. Like we really are just waking up. Like you don't really wake up till you like 20 or 25, 30 years old. You don't really wake up until you're around that age. And then once you wake up, you realize that a third or fourth of your life has been spent drinking the sauce. And then you start playing a game of what is this? And then after you figure out what it is, then you're like, oh man, I got to do this. Muhammad Ali gave a great speech, man. I don't have it on my computer at the moment, but he had a great speech where the guy asked him, what are you doing now? And he said, and this is before, and I don't care what any of y'all say, because I know how diabolical this country can be. I believe they silenced Muhammad Ali by giving him something. I don't think boxing, I've never seen another boxer suffer from Parkinson's disease. And I'm just being frank. I've not seen another boxer who has dealt with the adversity that Muhammad Ali dealt with in his latter years. And you know why, right? Because he was such an influential figure, and because he has spit in the face of the United States. You know what in my opinion, this is what I feel like they did. I feel like they did the one thing that you do to somebody who's a great speaker, and you take their voice. I feel like their objective was, we're not going to kill you, we're not going to martyr you, but what we will do is take your voice and we'll let the world see you crumble in front of them. And their hope was that he would lose that that appearance of greatness, of strength, because that's really the objective. Is when you have a person of great moral character, you have a person out there who stands for something, they want you to lose your strength. They want to show you. That's what this whole Kyrie Irving, you got to do these 6 things to get back in the game. It's that buck breaking. They're trying to get Kyrie to admonish himself in front of everybody for something that, literally for something that isn't, on him. So I believe that they did that to one of our greatest heroes, Muhammad Ali. But before he passed, before he lost his facilities, he gave a great speech saying that, they were like, yo, what are you going to do now? He's like, I'm going to serve my God for the rest of my life, because I spent a majority of it doing everything else, and I only got maybe 30, 40 years left to do it. You know what I'm saying? Unique. Unique drank her apple cider vinegar. Apparently, she said, I was up all night going to the bathroom. That's what's up. But that's the point, right? Tashi, they will admonish us because there's so much strength in the conversation and presentation that we have. They don't admonish the Jeff Bezos or his Jewish CEO because they're already set up and in position. The only people yet left to mobilize are black people. The only people left on this earth to come together is black folks. We the only group of people, man. Mexican people come together because they have to. They have nobody but themselves in this foreign country, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to get here and they're trying to survive. So they 8 people in the car, 100 at Home Depot waiting to get jobs, and then once they find a job, they put their people on and they say, "Send this back to the crib and let's do something bigger." 20 of them living in the house together. Asian community, they have their own freaking community within the communities. How many Chinatowns they got around the world? Come on, man. Unique. That is the conversation I have for you guys. Let me see. I got it on here somewhere. Let me see. I'm gonna play y'all one more because I said this. Oh, y'all gotta hear this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've posted so much dope stuff on my Instagram. I need y'all to hear this. So I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna let y'all hear this one right quick. Let me bring the volume up. Y'all need to hear this. This is from, I was speaking on Muhammad Ali. This is from Muhammad Ali. Check this out.
They're just so happy to see a black man who will stand up and jeopardize every court he's got to tell the truth. So like Floyd Patterson and other fighters, they just don't take part. They make $1 million. They get them a Rolls Royce. They get them a nice home. They get them a white wife. Well, I made it. America's great, and the rest of them catching hell. And he
What up, Sophia?
Say nothing. But when one man of popularity can let the world know the problem, he might lose a few dollars himself telling the truth. Might lose his life, but he's helping millions. But if I kept my mouth shut just because I can make millions, and then this ain't doing nothing. So I just love the freedom and the flesh and blood of my people more so than I do the money.
Boom. He loves the freedom. He loves the freedom, and he loves his black folks more than he loves the love of money. C Unique says everywhere, but if we only buy black, we will hurt the retail. Okay, wrong. So here's what I commissioned, and I think I got this. I'm gonna see if I still got this post up. I presented a solution, which I don't see on my page anymore. Maybe it was on the last ones. I presented a solution, and here's the thing: I am a person who will add and delete posts based off of the reception that they get. If y'all don't respond to the post, I'm taking it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it down. It was a great Kanye reference, wasn't it? That this is Muhammad Ali, AKP. Like, that's crazy, right? That's what's up, Red. He said her husband has finally got on board with the ACV and he feels great afterwards. That's what's up. It's on YouTube and it's on my Instagram. But I made a statement. This is what I said, right? And this is what we're leaning toward, and I hope everybody jumps on board. Right now, those of you who want to change the narrative as far as the black dollar and whatnot goes into effect, you should be buying black now. As much as you can, find out those places where you can buy black. I just posted on my Instagram a black shoe designer for those people who are like, we don't know where to buy, black sneakers and all this kind of stuff. Well, I posted one. But here's the thing. It is an inclusive process. When I say black people buy black, I'm not just saying black people buy black. I'm saying everyone start buying black. Because it is those outside dollars that help increase within the community just as much as the inside dollars help increase the community. I want people to gear up for this Black History Month for us to actually make black history by the way we impact the economy with our black dollar and with dollars, period. So what I'm saying to you is encourage everyone now to find those places, those black supermarkets, those black retailers, those black designers, find all those things that are black owned and start patronizing those places. As you do this, encourage everyone else. Then that's the one you got to go to. So Unique, for the month of February, that's what you got to do. You can look them up, Nikki. There'll be places in every community where there are black retailers. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to the what up, former. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to what up, soulful. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to the farmers market where you'll find your black black farmers to get those vegetables and all those kind of things, and make a relationship with them and find out where they're at, where they're what you can purchase from them. And sometimes, listen, again, it goes back to sacrifice. People are saying, yo, it's 20 miles to the nearest, it's 30. You've driven further for less. You've done more for less. I need to make sure everybody understands that. I see you. You have done more for less. Stop complaining about what you got to do. Do not ask for discounts. Pay the price. Why? Because black retailers and black farmers and black owners don't get the opportunity of the discounts that your white counterpart does, that these other people do. Stop asking for discounts. Just pay the price, because they have to pay the price. They have to pay above the price sometimes to get the things that they need. And so that's why their prices are higher. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. That's why you got to do that. Come on, man. Listen, it is going to be a sacrifice to make the impact that we want to make. Those people who jumped off those slave ships knew that they were making an impact by doing that. But that was the ultimate sacrifice. So you're going to have to make an extreme sacrifice, whether it's in the mileage that you have to drive, the discomfort you have to do doing it, the amount of money you got to spend, so be it, whatever. At least one time in your life, make a huge impact. And hopefully, this is my hope, is that when you do it, that it reverberates for months and hopefully a lifetime afterwards. Meaning this, hopefully the minute that you start doing that and you see the impact of it, what up, DJ Dub? That you see the impact of your black dollar now circulating in the community weeks, then you'll feel the effects of what it means to our economy and how that works. And if we continue to do that, y'all know we make everything cool, so outside communities are going to buy into what we do. Exactly, Red Baby. Sometimes we do some of the dumbest stuff or whatever. So now here's something with a cause and a mission plan. But you got to start doing it now. In order for the impact I want to see happen in February, we have to start doing it now. I'm one of those firm believers. I know I see people on here saying, hey, I'm going to start my apple cider vinegar on Monday. I'm going to start it tomorrow. I be saying to myself, man, if you don't get the mindset to start right now, like too many times we sit back and we don't move and be active when we should move and be active. Who does that? Who knows they have to do something or they should be doing something and sit back on their butt and say, I'm going to wait and do it. Come on, man. Trade out the McDonald's, trade out the Burger King, trade out all that stuff and start buying groceries and cooking. Yeah, it's going to be inconvenient, but it's what needs to be done for the impact that you're trying to have. If you want a change, a lasting change, it's going to cost your comfort of what you've been doing, because the comfort that you have doesn't want you to change. Do y'all understand that? The comfort that you have right now does not want you to change. So they're going to make everything easier. There you go. Screenshot that, y'all. There you go. Do y'all understand that? The way life is set up right now is so you don't change. And so that those people still keep winning. That's been winning. They don't. They are confident that their media machines, that their comfort foods and their comfort levels of living will put you in a state of paralysis. You ain't going to do nothing because you stuck. Well, I'm trying to unstick you. I'm trying to just tell you, and I'm being honest about it. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't supposed to be easy. You've been doing one thing longer in your life than this new thing that you're trying to do. Anybody who picks up weights understand that 2 days later, your body's gonna be aching. But if you keep on pushing, consistency is the key to the breakthrough. Our success is on the other side of our consistency. And we got to make everything that we do just as cool as everything that anybody else is a part of. We don't need anybody's approval for the cool that we have always had. We've always had swag. Those are the simplest of us, Joetta. Joetta said, we try to do the easiest thing. That's absolutely right. It ain't going to be easy. Please just inform your people. This is where the real soldiers, so to speak, show up. This is where the real, where it shows what you're made of. And we're made of resilience. That's the crazy part. We are made of resilience. but we don't use it in a fashion that progresses us collectively forward. We are made of resilience. Everything about our existence has been about being resilient. Now it's time for us to show some. Now it's time for us to show some resilience. I'm going to drink my apple cider vinegar. While I drink my apple cider vinegar, I would love to see the likes and the shares go up. I would love to see anybody out there who wants to participate in the gift giving to do that. I would love for anybody who wants to cash app to do that. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to drink my apple cider vinegar with the mother, former camper. Yeah, it should have the mother. Yes, we are the consumers, Tamika. We spend the most, and we water and flower and take care of other people's gardens without managing our own correctly. We actually take the seeds out of our gardens to put them in other people's gardens. Come on, man. Got to figure it out. Just a few announcements. All these are going to be broadcast on YouTube visually if you want to rewatch them. I am managing to start putting some of these conversations on a podcast that will be available on Spotify soon. I'm just got to cross a couple T's and dot a couple I's, but we're going to start putting these conversations where you can, I know this is a lot of information, and I know that it kind of moves around a little bit. I think today was an amazing conversation, but I'm going to drink this right quick. And then while that happens, run the shares, run the likes. If you want to gift and appreciate some of the time that I spent with y'all today, that'd be awesome. I'm drinking now. And that's how you drink it, y'all. You take it straight to the head. Do you recommend against lemon juice in the bottle? Yeah, real lemon. Look at just think about what you type, bro. You said artificial or real? Real. I'm not sure. And that's the other part. We just got to do our research, Red Baby. And I wanted people to put together a list for their cities of all the black-owned businesses. Excuse me. And that's cool, Bella. Listen, I would tell you, everything isn't going to be agreeable, but it is all researchable. And I would really pose that. I want us to get into the nature of doing some diving in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Anything you disagree with, go do the research on it, and then let's come back and talk about it. Thought about pattern is less censored. I don't know what that means, Tashi. I'm sure you're saying there's a platform that's less censored, but I don't know what what it is. Are you saying Patreon? It's real, but it has preservatives. Yeah, I would just. I mean, man, I'm so old school when it comes to, getting it from the source that I would never want it to pass through an additional set of hands. That's the best way I can say it. And I think that's the best way to approach things is if you can avoid something that you got going on, limit the amount of hands that are on it, you're in better position. Meaning, if you can get your foods from the farmer's market, that's one less place that it has to go through when it goes to a grocery store. That should probably be a way that you approach when it comes to natural foods and things like that. The less amount of hands that are touching it, the more chances you have of understanding that it's probably not going to be tampered with. So if you can get it straight from the farmer's market, straight from the farmer's fields into your hands, how awesome is that? Sometimes you get an opportunity, at least in the summer, you get an opportunity to go out and actually pick your own. That to me is a greater experience. There's so much more appreciation when you go out there and you do the work yourself, and you appreciate the food more. You take more time and care into it in the process, while also supporting these farmers who, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Joetta, I would figure that out, because that's important, right? We all need to find out, those places in the community. We need to get that list going. And once you have it, you have it. Remember that anybody seen the movie The Green Book? What up, Asking Gross? Anybody seen the movie The Green Book? That was an awesome movie, and I can appreciate the fact that it protected people. We need that same protection. We need an actual green book, one that is like, we need a newer green book that's better than the old green book. What up, Amber? We should be able to have that. but we don't currently. And we need it now more than ever because we have more resources. We actually have more money now than we've ever had. Excuse me. Yep. Yep. Raw local honey. So camper, you're gonna find honey from a local farmer, a bee farmer in your area, or your Whole Foods may have local raw honey. And sometimes grocery stores carry local raw honey back towards the meat department. Yeah, I think Tashi, a lot of times these people don't align themselves. They don't seem attainable, so they don't align themselves. And so, hey Angie, and the way they communicate with people, what up, Puzzle? The way they communicate with people, it misses. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there needs to be a different messenger who comes from another perspective that people will appreciate. For your information, my son from Until Freedom is promoting a boycott of Nike for Black Friday. Bella Dunn, I'm promoting I'm promoting a boycott for Nike and Adidas, and it ain't got no time stamp on it. It's from right now. I said don't buy anything new from Adidas or Nike. Don't buy anything new from them. Your existing stuff that you got, don't be foolish. You know what I'm saying? If you can afford to get rid of it, get rid of it. But if you can't afford it, keep it, use it. Use it as you always would, but just don't buy anything new. They should feel the impact of their decision. And that's the word that should be passed around is don't buy anything new. Yeah, local honey helps with allergies. Yep. So that's what my conversation was. And then I also said for Black History Month, nothing outside of spending black dollars that you can help. Meaning, I know gas stations you can't help, but that you need gas. There are other different things that are unavoidable, like flying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't run it, AKP. Good luck. You can't run it, bro. Yeah, no Nike, no. And it's gonna be. The problem is that these are the times where you have to say, at least I did my part. That's it. That's the only commission of you is you to say, at least I did my part. That's all I can be concerned with, because I can't commission you all. I can only tell y'all, what up, Enough? I can only tell y'all, but I can't make y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can only tell y'all, hey man, don't do this. Why? Because we're trying to make an impact, and I'm doing well enough. And this was another lightning conversation that I think is really hitting. Is going to hit home with a lot of people. I can't wait for the replays on this. Hold on one second. Alexa, show me front door. Oh, FedEx is here. Okay, I saw the notice. Yeah, I didn't buy the Adidas jacket to finish my outfit. Yeah, man, it's tough, Red, because I was heavy Adidas. If you watch, you'll see it. Like, I still wear the stuff because I got it, but I'm not buying anything new. Two of my dopest hoodies are Adidas. They're Adidas originals, and they're very hard to find. You know what I'm saying? I got my Yeezys. So I don't even want to dive into the fact that these people are arrogant enough to say they're going to take his design, rename it, and put it back out. I don't know who they think they're selling that kind of stuff to, because black folks don't rock like that. We are loyal. We don't rock like that. Although I don't agree with the religion at all, it's still a religion. Kyrie, constitutional rights. Man, that's a whole nother, we getting into that camper. I think you came a little late. We talked about Kanye, Kyrie, Dave Chappelle, the Nets owners, and we did a recap on last night. For those of you who missed it last night, we had over 2,500 people in the live. It was lit. I was making my apple cider vinegar drink. I think maybe 1,000 or more people followed as a part of it. I see a few people who were there last night that are here. And I'm sure that they didn't know that this was the body of work that came out from an apple cider vinegar conversation. But there's so much more to it that I want to bring to this platform that is bigger than what this platform is known for. It's not what you have, it's how you use what you got. And so we got this, and I want to use it in such an effective way that it's a mindset shift. I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm here to open up the door and enlighten people. I want to expand your mind. Even if you don't agree with me, at least you will leave out of here thinking, maybe, possibly, you'll think something a little bit differently than you already have. I too am no different than others when I say this to you. Your research is the only research that matters. I'm going to give you the sauce. I'm going to tell you where you can find it. I'm going to tell you what to look at and how to see it and how I see it. And should you disagree or should you have an alternate opinion, then go ahead and choose that and look at it and then examine it. But the more we have on the table, listen, the struggle with our community is we don't have enough on the table, so we're picking from the leftovers, from the little bit. But if we are abundant, not only in our conversation, if we're abundant in our education, if we're abundant in what we share with one another, then we have so much more that we can choose from. What up, Guru? We have so much that we can choose from to carve into the truth. Like we can just carve it down. The blaze of education is what we use to carve out the communication that we need and the education that we need. But we got to do it. Like we got to sit back and throw all this stuff up against the wall. We got to have these conversations, these open platforms. I read all the comments and I respond to all the comments. And if I miss one, I just tell you to repost it and I respond to it because it is an engagement between you and I. You know what I'm saying? This is a conversation with many people. And oftentimes we don't get to share this kind of dialogue with so many diverse people of so many diverse backgrounds to hear it where everybody's come from today, you know. And this is how I know that we're really on to something is when we have those people that come in with those adverse opinions and we get an opportunity to say, nah, man, look at it like this. Like, because I do believe that people are running with the Kanye West conversation about slave choice. And I think that today we can wipe that off the checklist of things to ever have to discuss again, because between the Nat Turner conversation and between the slaves jumping off the ships, I gave you the alternate. Yes, you do have a choice. What up, Rojas, Natalie? You do have a choice. You know what I'm saying? You have a choice in everything you do. But the fact that that choice may be uncomfortable is what people are talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, camper. That's what's up. Yeah, we'll have it. I mean, you know, I'm here. I'm always around. So, you know what I'm saying? But that's the part that's necessary that I think that, you know, we got to start managing, you know what I'm saying, even more so. I love the discourse. I love the conversation today and looking forward to it. Listen, I really want y'all to make sure y'all are here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to bring a special guest on. I'm probably just going to sit back and allow this brother dude to communicate. I may interject here and there. He will and I will be, as usual, paying attention to the chat. So that's dope. That's dope. Man, knock them down. I mean, that's super dope, man. That is a blessing. But that conversation, I'll be making sure that we it's moderated correctly so that you guys' questions and concerns. You guys are gonna have a ton of questions. You guys, this dude is gonna put the light bulb on you, and he does it in such a logical way that you're gonna have to rethink some of the things that you've carried with you for quite a while. I did a lot of listening, a little to no interjecting. I was listening to understand. That's all I want y'all to do is listen to understand a person's perspective. That way y'all can look at how it aligns with yours, and then everything is researchable. So there will be some resources for you guys to check out to get it a little bit better. But it's 10:37. It is 10:37 on Monday, the 14th, here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 41 degrees with a high of 51. Hopefully you guys are wrapping up and keeping on some nice warm clothing. If anybody has any further questions, I'm gonna stay on for 2 more minutes, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So you guys can ask any questions. I want to answer anything that you guys have. If you guys just want to make any acknowledgments, you can do that. If y'all want to round up the likes to 20,000 and maybe the shares to 40, that's awesome. High school 6'6". Oh man, he a beast. What up, Curtis? David Curtis. If y'all want to do that, if y'all want to run up the likes, run up the shares, if y'all want to, if y'all are gifting anything, whether it's Cash App, super likes, super chats, badges, or anything like that, you guys can do it right now. I appreciate everything that y'all do. Y'all know that. I appreciate it when y'all appreciate my time. That's super dope too. But we will have, I got a conversation for tomorrow. I just gotta, it's in my head, and I thought I was going to talk about it today, but I needed to do this recap because this weekend was so exciting. It was so exciting this weekend, man, in the guise of in the sense of everything that happened was really, really dope, man. I had an amazing weekend with these things that came out with the Kyrie Irving, getting that understanding from not only his owner, but from the head of the NBA. That was such a tremendous thing. It's always dope to be validated, man. It always feels good to be validated. So with that, man, I appreciate everybody who shows up. I will try. I'm gonna see what this was doing. I don't know if they removed it and put him back on the court yet. Cause remember they were like the stipulations. What they did say that was dope. They was like the stipulations and all that stuff that came out is more of a situation for those entities to deal with. Like that's what Dave Chappelle said as well. He's like, yo, and that's why that's why the Jewish community is in an uproar about what Dave Chappelle said on SNL. I would have played it during the show, but that's gonna cause some copyright issues. So y'all have to watch it for yourselves. He is brilliant. Every time Dave Chappelle grabs the microphone and talks about current events and affairs, he is someone who I like to think of when I think about that alternate perspective. He gives it to you and is so charged with brilliance and intelligence that it's hard to deny. And it is what it is. It's based off logic and truth. You can't run from that, and that is a pain point for those people who have benefited off of the lies. I love it so much when he speaks about those things. But with that, I want to encourage you all to return. Like I said, if you're following me, you should turn on your notifications. I may appear at any point, although I'm looking at actually narrowing down a time to be on live with y'all twice a day, because I know there's such a huge community. Last night showed it that my evening community is missing having a conversation that makes sense. And I know there are a lot of other people who host their shows at night, so there'll be some ebbs and flows in the participation, but that's okay with me. I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? There's enough opportunity for people to step in these rooms and hear a conversation that hopefully changes their life and their situation. So I'm down for that. I know there's room for everybody. I'm not trying to hog it all up myself. You know what I'm saying? But with that, taking those things into consideration, no, he is a comic social genius. I like that. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Anybody who is gifted today, I know there's a lot of y'all who shared a lot of gifts. Thank you so much. It shows that you value my time when I get on here, which is, it's appreciated. It's not necessary for y'all to cash app. It's not necessary for the super chats and super likes and the cash apps and all those kind of things. It's not necessary, but it is appreciated when you do it because it shows that you value my time. That being said, I want to say I enjoy y'all being on here, man. For those of you who bought the book, I hope y'all enjoyed the book. I signed all of them, and I was very sincere in that signature. Yep, and that's all I want to do, Bella, is just enlighten things, give y'all another perspective that you may not hear out there and in the general media, and give you some things to take away and share in your community and make some other people think. These conversations should extend far beyond us just talking. And if you need a reference point for those people in those conversations, send them over to YouTube. Say, hey, check out his last YouTube. There were some things in there that was brilliant. Now, if y'all need help with that, you all can go to my YouTube as well. They have a feature called Clips, where you're able to measure out maybe a segment of a conversation, maybe a statement I said, maybe something like that. And you guys can add that and share it, which is such a dope thing to do. It's one of the dopest things you could do is share it. So here's the book. I'm going to step out of the way a little bit. And you see the address is yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. I wrote this book called Social Digital Currency, Your Social Media Birthright and How to Use it. It's called Billionaire Talk. You guys can go on the YouTube channel. And I actually we did a podcast on this. So there's a huge conversation regarding my book, Social Digital Currency, and what it means and how to spend it and how to use it. So, it's probably 3 or 4 episodes back. It's entitled Social Digital Currency on YouTube. Watch it in its entirety. Trust me, you will benefit from it. If you're a person who is online doing anything, if you're trying to make a friendship, a relationship, do some business, or just want to know what you bring to the table as a person on these sites, it'll be super dope. A little more honey and added cayenne, not so bad today. All right, I see you over there remixing it, Tashi. Knock it out. But also pay attention to what the results are. You know what I'm saying? Keep track of that because people are going to want to hear what the lime added to it and how you felt and what the cayenne pepper. Remember, when we do these things, we're kind of like it being experimental. And just like all great scientists who have been experimental, they actually they log all their process. And I encourage you all to do that. Keep track of what you've been doing. Yeah, some people swap out the lemons for lime, camper. The lime has more vitamin C than the lemon. It's just the taste for me is different, and the process of getting at least 5 ounces of lime juice is so hard. You know what I'm saying? It's such a challenge because they're smaller than lemons. So take those things in consideration. They are highly beneficial. You will enjoy it. You will see the changes and appreciate them a whole lot more. So will end today's episode, today's conversation. I appreciate y'all checking in. Once I have the information of when these podcasts will be actually on Spotify, I'll start pushing that to you guys so we can support the Spotify, support the YouTube, because those are the things that are continuous. Those are the things where you can go back and search the information. But also, more importantly, sharing is caring. All right. I appreciate y'all. All my Instagram people, I appreciate y'all showing up. I'm out. And the replays are on YouTube, not on Instagram. For all my TikTok people, man, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all showing up today. Share me with somebody. Y'all can share my profile, but y'all can share some of the content that's on the page, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. I appreciate it all. I'll get at y'all later, man. Keep your notifications turned on. Who knows when I jump back on? I'm out. Talk to y'all soon. Yo, YouTube, y'all know what it is. It's to be continued. Get one of those clips, man, and share them with some people, all right? I appreciate y'all.